Very basic.
We can go to something that you guys have already set up with somebody else. From DC, so we can show everybody how it looks like.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to show like an example of what a system that somebody who's building it out looks like, so they kind of have an idea of what they're going to, and then maybe we can jump in and just go through the quick view of the schedules and devices for a controller. Yeah. If that works.
Is everybody going to be managing baseline in here? Everybody have logins, or?
No, it'll be.
It's gonna be like only
I'll have one.
crazy.
Notch will have one.
Do you already have one?
I
You
don't
know, should I say
As
this?
of right now, being a brand new bill, I have.
So I'll show you how to do that too.
I have Ignacio, Matt,
That
and
Workness.
Matt Berkness.
Okay, he should be a view only.
Okay.
That's the district manager.
Yeah.
You cannot.
We had to.
that.
Yeah, we had to add him because that's
Who's paying?
who's paying. So I mean, we can just make him a user.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he won't be in there.
That's fine.
He might want to pull a screenshot every once in a while. It's a pretty easy one.
Do all the operations on a daily basis. So we jump in here, pick your company.
Your guys will, when you log in,
It'll just be like this.
the Fossil Ridge Metro District will come up, so it'll just be yours.
Yeah.
Brad has access to all the users in the country.
I always have to log in. Pick a company. For you guys, this is what you log in and you'll see on your news manager screen. Then you pick whatever controller that you want. So this will list out, this is your site, Solterra. And these are all your controllers. So you've got them, named, whatever that's going to be, the one you don't know about, but.
That one at the bottom, the second to the bottom, that says need to confirm, that's that one Ignacio where we have questions with the tank remote and controller.
Okay, the ones that are completely.
Yeah.
You put the location they're saying down for now, and then we'll figure out. The some of those ball boxes don't have the they're kind of flat. Where the flat is.
So when you pick your controller, you can see down here, it's going to tell you the same thing what your controller is. This is going to give you just a couple bits of information. And right here's where we can name the controller, right? So whatever we want, add to this, I don't know where this is at. Whatever you want, right? But that's where you can name your controller. If you want to change the name, it's a real fast way to do it. But I just wanted to show you that. So we have 3 levels of mapping. We have a company view, a site view, and a controller view. And I'm assuming none of this is set up.
I did the company, so right there.
So that's good.
It's Solterra.
This is the HOA.
Yeah, to the left.
Here?
Right, yeah, that's the company.
Okay.
And then it should be
So your site view is going to show you your controllers. And then your controller view is just that, it'll dive in closer and take you to your zones. So I don't know where this controller lives, but to add this and drill in, you can just drill in closer. Where does this controller reside? Tell me which way to go. Scroll up.
To there,
Sal out. I'm looking for Sal. Let's see it.
You're going to be south.
Here's my Sal. So you know where
I think it's that sidewalk crosses the street.
Are any of these controllers that have someone running them yet?
we need to add it.
but we can add the controller.
Actually, I was wrong. It's up in the west.
So any asset you have, you can mark. So right here, we can drop our pin. So say the controller's here. And that's gonna be for your zones, moisture sensors, anything you have out there. You can create custom markers. I'll show you where to do that. Just get rid of that guy, 'cause that's not right.
No, I was wrong.
15685.
There's two LaSalle's clocks. That clock that he has now is called LaSalle's. I like McIntyre. So, when you get into the chords and circles, it's really fun.
Where you want. It's Greenberg. Whatever you want, name it, save. X-rated it, drop it in. So you think, okay.
It is, yeah. Should have done it all winter.
Yeah.
It's not something I like to do anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're naming, you saw that I just typed out 4-inch, right? I didn't use this guy. When you're naming stuff in baseline, don't use anything but numbers and letters. Okay. Spell out the word. Through, whatever, but yeah, give you 200 characters, for like your naming conventions for zones and stuff like that. But any special character in the coding behind the software coding, you can jack up operations. So just use numbers and letters. But same thing here, you know, so we got our QC that we dropped. Backloads over here.
And we can move these after.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just hit edit, and then you can move them. So if we save this, it's gonna live here.
Yep.
Right? So if you hit edit, you wanna remove it, or we'll put it in the wrong location, it's over here, you do that. So, pretty simple. So that's one way to mark them. I'm gonna show you the other way right now as well. I'm gonna move on to something real quick, we're gonna come back to this. So over here on mobile access, this is gonna be your remote in your hands. This is what you're gonna see on your cell phone, right here. So if we pick this controller again, we go here, geolocate device, allow. Just say we wanna mark that controller. I can use those custom colors. Okay. So same thing, we pick whatever device we wanna mark. You're standing where the QC is, hit mark, it drops the pin on your map. So you can geolocate.
Yeah.
There's two methods.
Yeah.
If you want to be exact, go out in the field and do it.
Yeah.
If you don't really care, do it from your tablet, your laptop, wherever you're at. So
The cool part about doing it with geolocating and mobile access is you don't have to designate the assembler to do all this crap. You can do it while your guys are out in the field, the checks and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You drop it in the pins as you're out there, and it'll populate on the map. And then once you kind of will sit down and you have some kind of look at this, that's when you can edit and just kind of code stuff up. But you can go through budget stuff down just by using your phone, just right around.
Two different ways to learn. That's good.
What's the app?
it's a web page. You can
Oh, okay.
mark it.
Perfect. Is
Yeah.
it the same one that I've used?
Our actual apps coming out with all the apps.
Perfect.
Yep. So I just cleaned that up, deleted those. Yeah, so they don't live there anymore. So that's the map. So it's at 3 levels. So I would suggest take the time to let your map. It's really helpful. And when you look at this, you guys will start your day. I'll show you a map that's built out pretty well. So you get a better idea. So here's the company. This is Douglas County High School down in Castle Rock, Parker. Castle View High School. So here's his site view. You can see all this. Got substations, control points, controllers over here. Then his controller view.
Oh, cool. So this, all those numbers are zones.
So these are all the zones.
And it looks like
Okay.
he's using different colors for different.
Here's, these are custom markers, gate valves, quick couplers are custom markers, right? Here's the master valve, these are the zones. All these colors, except for the custom ones, have meaning, and I'll show you those statuses. But you can, this is where you can get a real-time view of what's going on your site digitally. So if you come in here and you want to start your morning. So you can kind of see, he's got a lot going on. If you click on these, it's interactive. So zone 39, it's going to tell you what programs it lives in, its run times, what's going on. So his main line's running right now. It's got notes that he built in here too. So there's a lot of data entry you can do. That's what you're going to get out of it. More data you put in, more info. We can do an electrical test from here. So we test the solenoid placement. Comes back, tells us if the solenoid's good. We can do burn flow from here. We can start this zone if we wanted to manually right now. And then you're going to see that turn blue. So that status color means something. We're going to stop it because it's probably got water behind it. So over here, this little menu up here, if you scroll down to the bottom, this has your status colors. So in real time, you can see what's going on and what they mean. So green is good. We like green. You know, these other things I'm just going to tell you. Red's going to be either an electrical problem or a flow issue. Typically, you're going to see red. That's what that message is going to be. If we're using, cyclone soak, you're going to see maybe 4 zones. If you run motors zones hydraulically, you'll see 4 that are sitting there yellow. You'll see 4 that are blue. You'll see 4 that are light blue or 5. So you'll see it go from soaking to, so it's all visual. And that color coding carries through. Obviously, you've seen the controller faceplate. It's on the faceplate of the controller. And then it goes throughout all the software platforms. So everything on this side, you hear that color coding carries through. So this quick view tab is where it's going to show us all your zones. We're going up to 200 zones. So he's got this zone running right now. These are disconnected or disabled. It's got I think they're probably native. Right? Yep, native. So he's just not watering those. So, all the programs that he has built out. So he's got one program that's running right now. It's a quick coupler program. So these other programs are disabled, but this will tell us which zones live in the program, their run times. We started if we wanted to, stop it. So everything down to your water sources, your master valves, all that stuff lives here on this left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we go up. This is where we have any messages, like an electrical alert, something like that. Maybe you're using a moisture sensor, and it's just going to tell you, hey, we didn't water today. So I'll show you one that has a lot of messages, so you can get an idea. I was just in here yesterday, I was in Wyoming. I'll show you an idea of what messages look like and the different messages. So there you can see they've got a lot of issues, but you have low priority message, a medium priority message, I'll tell you what it is, and then a high level message. A high level message is going to be in red, and it's something that's not going to run. You have to rectify it. You can clear it, message, and turn green, it's going to come back. So you have to address that issue, whether it's electrical or flow related. So those are the levels of messages that you're going to see as well. We'll go back to Douglas County because he's got a lot of devices out there.
Yeah, so once you go out and change those solenoids, then you can just
Clear it out.
clear it out.
Clear it out.
And then everything's gonna be green.
We did a couple of months and first collector we put it like uncut.
This is showing us its moisture sensors in real time. Its soil temp, amount of percentage of soil. Those moisture sensors measure both of those. These flow sensors site. He's got a SIP sensor, he's got what's called a bit switch or coach button. So if you want to run an open or closed relay, right, you can start, stop, and pause with irrigation video or sensors. So use that button, you build a 2-wire path, you turn on tennis court lights, open gates, door locks, water feature, whatever that is. That's what he's using out there, and then he's also using a weather station to just read his ET data, and see what that is in relationship to his moisture sensor. And that's where all those devices live too, on QuickView. And then these are the same interactive buttons that we saw on that map. Right, it's the same workflow from page to page. Questions so far about mapping, about QuickView? You're typically going to start your day in one place or the other. Kind of what you like visually. I like QuickView, just tells me more of the story than I think the map does. But that's just my preference. These are all collapsible, so if you don't want to see, maybe you just want to see your flow or your moisture sensors, you don't need to look at all that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't care. There's stuff you're not using, you're just using the moisture flow. The rest of those you don't have to stare at all that other stuff. So, yeah. Schedules tab, just ignore it.
The schedule stuff?
Just ignore it. It's going away. It's changing. And we're not going to build any programs here. Just ignore that for the moment. Our devices, this is where we bring in all your decoders into the software and where we bring in these sensors. So in your case, let's grab a controller. They're all wired up, right?
Yeah.
That did sound confident. Which controller do you want to pick? Which one are you most confident in?
Let's start with that one.
I think these guys still call it tape.
Which one?
Fucking
Crack
excellent.
These offline.
These are,
No.
let's go to, clock, we were A, let's go to the F, clock F.
F.
Yeah.
Okay. So right here, you can see we don't have any zones here. So we'll go over here to our devices,
Okay.
go to zones, hit assign bicoders.
Well,
Now what we're doing is we're sending out electrical, right, signal to each zone. We're getting that information back, so each decoder has a serial number,
Yeah.
or each terminal on the board has a serial number. So we're bringing those all in, and they're gonna populate right here.
Oh,
So now we can see all those.
that's what they use,
Right.
expensive than nowadays.
And so if you have a list, and we know which one of these decoders is zone 1, let's just say it's this one, that's zone 1. This guy's gonna be zone 2.
Okay.
This guy's gonna be zone 3.
And you do that stuff.
Zone 3. This guy's gonna be zone 4. I don't really care. Oh, I screwed up. 917, let's say 917 needs to be zone 4. You just go in here and unassign it. Unassign that guy. Come back to zone 4, find 917.
Okay.
Wherever it is. Maybe you see it. There it is. And just reassign it. Cool. You don't have to go out and move field wires in a conventional setting, right? This is all 2-wire, obviously. I know that from the serial numbers. You know? And so you can just do that in the software.
Could you do one more start from the beginning? And maybe pick another black picture.
We can do this one again if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay? So right here, just get out of here.
Okay.
Come back, so devices,
Devices,
zones,
sounds perfect.
assign bicoders.
Assign the okay.
Yeah. And then once it populates that list, it'll tell you how many devices it's got. So once you
Come back to that.
you can come back here, set assign those,
Okay.
and once they're assigned, zone 1 doesn't tell us anything other than back in zone 1, right? So here we can name this. We can name this West Turf Borders, like whatever you want to name it, it's up to you. But and this is where that naming convention, you have 200 characters. Do not use anything like that.
Yeah.
That.
That is some numbers.
That. Those are no-nos.
So if we
Letters and
power-
numbers only.
Letters and
if we
numbers.
power cycle all of
That's
this
what
to be
I mean.
maintained.
Yeah, that's logic. Once you save it, this logic lives in the controller itself, and then we back it up on our server too. So if something happens, and we need to push a download out for a program, we can.
So if let's say down the road we swap a controller, we have to go see this up again.
No.
Okay. We just put the new controller in and it
Yeah,
pops
we
off
have to
this.
just assign that serial number to the controller, then we can push that back up.
That's kind of key different, that's why you got a decoder.
So let's just say for
Have that list.
these purposes, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna assign some of these.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I know they're not right. So we'll come back and we'll remove them too. But once we save them, now we go back to quick view. Quick view. Now we're gonna see our zones in there. Perfect.
Okay.
Right? Zone tour. If you get edit, it'll take you to the zone page if you want. So right there where we populated them all, it's a great place to name them all at once. If you don't wanna do that, you can go to the zone itself, just hit that edit button, this will dive into the zone, okay? And we can name it here too. And then these additional zone properties,
That's gonna help you a ton, especially when you're programming your schedules, because you can see, you know, it would stay consistent whether it's turf rotors or, if you got drip, or if you got turf pop-ups, or if you have maintenance.
Not all that, yeah.
So you're writing your schedules, you'll know, hey, my rotors are, you know, 37 minutes or whatever. Just
Yeah.
gonna clean that down. It's gonna speed up the process.
We'll go like plant type, irrigation type, image.
so in the additional zone information, if you want to use cycle and soak and really dive deep,
Yeah.
right? So this is where you can pick whatever you have, so let's just say we're gonna pick rotors. It's gonna change your application right here to U. 3-inch root depth's pretty good, 3-4. Cool season turf grass, you got warm and custom. You have a palm tree, you wanna throw that in there, you can.
It's okay, look back there.
Your exposure. So your microclimate.
I haven't seen it in years.
Soil and slope information, so you know if this is gonna be clay soil and hold a lot of water, you'll see that cycle and slope change there.
Yeah.
Slope. Change again.
Oh, I missed it. You do have sun, I saw that. Right?
Yeah, exposure's up here.
Cool. This reminds me of stuff they use on the site.
What are you using?
I have a ton of controllers
Where at?
everywhere.
What brands?
ET Water,
Wait,
sorry,
you-
yeah, sorry, ET Water, yeah, we have a,
And then this is where you put in those field notes, so they're gonna show up like on that map tab that when you open it up, you know, so if you wanna put, you know, 100, 20.
Right, notes.
none of the notes we can use whatever character.
Nozzle, yeah. No, don't use any characters.
You have dash in there.
Do it. You know what? I'm a dumbass.
I just checking, man. I wasn't trying to call you out.
That's one of those things that you just have to.
I mean, I use that shit all day long. This is gonna be really hard for me.
I know.
I want
Obviously-
number signs on everything.
It's obviously hard for me to.
Today's not working for me. Then all day sun.
And then our control point is what's downstream of your water source. Control, master valve point is in a data point, so flow or pressure. We've made your pressure too. So this is where we would set that all up in here.
Okay.
We'll come in here, we'll put in our, so if, let's say we have a 4-inch main line, you know, I know that we can run that safely, velocity at 190 gallons a minute. So let's say we want to shut down, maybe we can shut down at 220 for a mainline break.
Yeah.
And this is what Brian was talking about, unscheduled flow. Maybe you got a slow leak, you don't know where it is, but you know you got a leak, and you just don't want to keep getting those alerts. So maybe it's, you know, let's just say it's 15 gallons a minute. You're gonna allow for that. You're not gonna shut down.
Yeah.
Or you got some greedy homeowners that are out there and they're using your water, and you're like, I don't want you using my water. Now it's gonna alert you and shut it down.
Yeah.
So these will give you a message, but if you don't click shut down, it's just gonna send you a message.
Okay.
So you have to click that shut down. This is where we set up our flow sensor or master valve. So if we had a master valve encoder,
Yeah.
we'd set it up right here. and then it's gonna say normally open, normally closed. But this is where we'd set that up.
Okay, cool.
And then lastly, the main lines. So you're gonna bring all your zones into your main line. So when you're, once you assign your zones, quickly and all that, you come here and make sure all those zones are attached to your main line. Otherwise they won't run. It's not gonna recognize them. But that same information, a lot of that is here as well. So there's our design flow, stabilization. So, you know, we've got 4 zones running at once and 4 more come on, and we could go over that 190 for a little period of time, and we don't want to do a high flow shutdown, so we'll just allow it to stabilize for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever you want, depending on your hydraulics, and then it'll just resume. So if you put in that design flow and hit manage by flow, it's going to run as many zones as it can to get close to that 190 gallons a minute.
Oh, that's
Maximize
awesome.
your hydraulics.
So we don't have to, it'll tell us when it can run, we don't have to tell it.
What do you mean? You still have to like start time and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then down here, let's go back to,
You just say, like, if you tell the controller that you have 190 gallon rooms with it, and then if you tell the controller, hey, we can run, we have, electrically, we can run up to 15 stations at a time, it's gonna try to find 190 gallons a minute of zones. Just, it might run 6, it might run 4, it might run whatever.
yeah, so right here, you'll see all these zones attached to this main line. Come down here, you can see that he's done his learn flow. So he's saying he's got 250 gallons a minute to work with on a 4-inch main line. I call bullshit, right? He's running that water really fast. He's running that pressure a lot. So he's cheating the system a little bit, you know, but that's fine. So then what base managers, you got low flow
Links in the life.
drip. Oh yeah, you got to bring your pump up.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
that-
awesome.
So yeah. Live view is gonna be a virtual shot of your controller. So once again, this is like we're standing in front of the controller, we see all those statuses. We can shut that controller off right here. It'll be remote off. I'm not gonna do it because he's live. We'll do it for somebody else. That I know isn't live. We'll go back to these. Oh, Notre Dame. It's Notre Dame.
Which one? Where's Notre Dame at?
I don't know what it is.
Not the prep school, I get
So here, if we go live view on this controller,
It's all those county.
and we wanna just shut this guy off, we just shut that controller off without having to drive to Capital Wyoming, right, to do it. So, and it'll come up and show you that, alright, now we're on.
See where it says, I'm glad that showed up, where you got that pin right there? So if you guys have, you know, your baseline pedestals are just a CH751, everybody has a 100 Wrangler key, that's what it is. If you have an issue where people want to get in and mess around with their controllers, you can lock them with that.
Yeah, we're gonna do that for sure. I have some smart folks, I would say. They
So-
usually turn things off.
Building programs. We'll skip over by the building programs. This is where you're gonna do all that. It's in our schedule manager tab. It's gonna list all your controllers.
Okay.
You know, so if we went to your account. It's gonna show us your site, it's gonna show us all your controllers. Go here, and we wanna add a program. It's as easy as doing that. Just add a program, now we're gonna build a program. We don't have any zones in there, so we really can't.
Yeah.
This is where all that lives. This is how you do that. I'll find somebody that actually has. Just get their comments, yeah.
So you have, per controller, you have 99 programs. So, I mean, it seems like a lot, but I mean, you could do, 2-minute tests, a 10-minute test, go up to the truck, that's main program, summer program, whatever.
So Russ at Denver Zoo, he's got 3 sites built out, but he's using a ton of programs. Right? So Brian's point, 99 programs.
Yeah.
So we got a boat list going on, right?
He's watering basically, takes it to time, it's right with the feeding and the way, and so not spraying with kids, but so he has a lot to work with, so he's got.
So we'll go in here and jack with the tigers, right? So this is like I said, this is like it, it's gonna show up gray, right? But maybe you wanna get specific, it's Siberian. How do you spell Siberian? Sure. Okay, do this today. Siberian tiger, this is where you can either delete your zones, add zones.
Okay.
So there's that. If we wanted to use cycle and soak, remember those factors we put in on the zone details? You just hit this button, now it's gonna add in your cycle and soak. Okay. So another strategy, so you can see these are all in time mode. But basically that means this zone's gonna run for 10 minutes, this one's gonna run for 10 minutes, this guy's gonna run for 1 minute, but let's say it's a 10-minute zone. We can make this a zone, a primary zone. Primary zone. And then all these zones, you can link to it.
Oh, got it, yeah.
So whatever you do in the zone, that primary zone, influences these other zones and link to it. So you can that's the way to program, or if you're using a moisture sensor. So in here, let's just say he's going to use a lower limit moisture sensor. Find the sensor he wants, put in the sensor. He's gonna, right now his current moisture is at 33%. If it gets below 30, it'll water for 10 minutes. All these zones are influenced now by this moisture sensor as well. Okay? This is your electrical currency. This is how many zones we can run on a 2-wire controller is 15. So you're just going to want to set that at 15. And then open it up for whatever you want your programs to run. Right now he's saying we can allow 3 zones to run electrically. Hydraulically, we may be able to run more, and he's limiting this to 3 zones. This is electrical, not flow.
Yeah.
Here's your water window, super easy. Right? You can click, you can do it.
Yeah.
Or hard.
That's in color, so blue always means watering, whether it's the zone's watering or it's your
That's where you got your water, you need the time that you want to.
And the reason we chose these pastel colors is we don't want them to conflict with those standard status colors. So, yeah. Seasonal adjust. Right, pretty easy. You can also use your arrows if you want to just fine tune that, make sure exactly 100%.
Okay.
We have 99 programs, we have 99 priorities, right? So
Okay.
we can prioritize schedules. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't ever use priority 1, ever. Just don't. It'll jack shit up, right? It'll conflict. If you have 2 that are using priority 1, and they don't have meet start time, it'll always revert to the one that's coming up first. So it'll just mess it up. I always start with like 5 or 6.
Okay.
And then it gives you some room above, so let's say we install sod, make your sod program 4 or 5, it'll always get that water. Even if you put out, like, so right here, local conditions, the sod program, maybe we don't wanna obey a rain delay. So you just uncheck that, otherwise it's gonna stay checked. Okay,
That's a pretty good one.
we're gonna add our booster pump to the program, so we wanna use that booster pump just for this program, those other programs that we talked about. This is where you can do that. Same thing, water window, days of the week, and then you can add start times. Well, we want to start times. Okay. I don't even know.
Not a lot.
Push it up. Delete them. Yeah. So, pretty easy, pretty intuitive. This would be, a condition's gonna be, if you're gonna do a moisture start, maybe you have a precip sensor out there, and you wanna do a pause condition in case of rainstorm. So at the 10th minute, we're gonna pause irrigation. Then we can add another condition, that would be a stop condition. So let's just say, I don't know if you have precip, there's a precip out there. So we can do a pause condition, so we do set a pause. And then the next condition, if we wanted to add a stop condition, we've got the same sensor, and hit stop condition. So maybe the pause is at a 10th of an inch. And then the stop would be, we got 0.25. Right? And for refrigeration, maybe pause that for an hour. Right? Yeah. Just wait, make sure that rainstorm, you got enough But this is where you would add in those special conditions.
So if you stopped on zone 13, if you got 10 millimeters of water, all of us, that was 13. An hour later, it, can't be any more than that 10, so it'll just wait for the water to go to zone.
Is that on?
Oh, what are the messages for 2019?
They seem to all be the same date.
Same messages too. Same thing. Same dates. Let's see if it needs to come back.
So on your phone, you're only in one of mobile access.
Mobile access.
If you were to bring up Base Manager, you'll see it, but it was never designed, these weren't around when Baseline came out in 1998. So it wasn't, it's too big for your phone.
Too big for the
So you'll have to be moving it around. It's a pain in
So
the
you can
ass.
see the whole screen, yeah.
So just go to mobile access and it's gonna bring up this more generic version. That's when you're gonna have a high speed,
Something
handheld remote.
Something's happened with the controller. That one's disconnected. It's showing communication when something's a ground. I don't know where it's going. So I think 13 is when it lost. So you guys can shut off.
It could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys want to down?
Clock D.
Clock D,
Yeah, it's only one
Yeah.
Two we had today. So let's
That's
do
Ese que está conectado.
these, the clock letters coordinate with the valve box rings, right?
That's
For
what,
the
that's
most
what,
part.
that's what I'm doing, yeah, that's what I said.
So then let's put physical address after the clock.
Okay, so that way we know where they're at, yeah, you're right.
If I die someday, somebody's gonna take this. We're pretty screwed if I die tomorrow out here.
That's a good idea, we know where they're
Like
at.
15 years of just,
So remember
Knowing
that,
what's going on.
It's right here.
yeah, exactly.
Your address.
And then you got, yeah, it's right there.
And then we'll come up with a way to name these zones that we're specifically in.
What questions you got?
I mean, it,
For a lot of that, you basically reach me or Brian.
okay,
Should you guys need that, we just set the time. He's happy to help.
perfect. Yeah, I think
We're here to come alongside you guys. You're not alone.
we're gonna jump in with both feet and get these things, named, assigned, and then I'll probably map as the year goes in. I'll just pick a commissioner every month and just turn on zones. I do it on my phone, like you said.
You can
It's a great time to do it. You're out there doing that,
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
can, you can schedule a team meeting with Nigel and say, hey, you know,
Yeah.
on Friday through this, we need an hour, and then you'll do a team meeting. And
Cool.
You'll log in, he has the same access.
yeah.
As you can just answer any questions, or say, oh, this is why you can't do this, you gotta click this.
I'm gonna take a year of notes for things we need to install this winter. So I don't know that, I don't know that the original installer has moisture sensors everywhere they're supposed to. A lot of them were disconnected and abandoned before I came on. It was a mess of a system the first couple of years they built it, because it was a construction site, dude, so they're nicking 2-wire everywhere. They cheated a lot of stuff, right, to just run it as a legacy setup. But a year from now, I would like to have full functionality of what you guys offer on this site. I tell them to spend money, so you tell me why, I tell them why. It's that easy.
If it was me